Hey everyone, Morgan Zaretsky of Naturessence Personal Wellness Coaching. You can go to naturessence.org to learn all about these 6 nature steps that I use to get off antidepressants and learn to love my life. And I just want to come to you today to tell you about this book I'm reading called Balanced and Barefoot by Angela Hanscom. And it's on the front, it reads how unrestricted outdoor play makes for strong, confident, and capable children. And I've just started reading it. I'm in the first couple chapters here. And I wanted to kind of share it with you because it's a really good follow-up to Richard Lou's Last Child in the Woods. If you've read that or if you've heard me talk about it, it was a book I really enjoyed. And this is just another example of almost, not exactly the same thing. There's some different research and she's coming at it from a bit of a different perspective, but much of the same kind of outcome, right? So different research. This Angela Hanscom is an pediatric occupational therapist who has now moved into the nature education movement, whereas Richard Louv was a journalist and an author. And I just want to read a little bit of some of the research that she's pointing out because it's terrifying. Even I don't have children of my own, but so I can't imagine if I'm terrified reading these articles, how someone who has children or who has children in, that has ADHD or learning difficulties, or is getting, in trouble for school for not being able to pay attention, not being able to sit still. Reading something like this would absolutely be totally enlightening. So I definitely recommend it if you have young children, and you haven't got on the nature bandwagon yet, and you're not sure why. This book right here will definitely explain it to you. So, this is only on chapter 10 that this article, or this paragraph that I'm going to read to you, comes from. So, according to a study released in the Journal of Pediatrics in 2011, so this is a really new book. It's got lots of really good stuff in it, very relevant. So, Journal of Pediatrics, 2011, 1 in 6 children now have a developmental disability. And between 1997 and 2008, there was an 11% increase in the number of diagnoses. Even at a preschool level, there has been a sharp and steady rise in the number of children who need early intervention, something that was unheard of in years past. So when she's meaning early intervention, she's talking about occupational therapy. And she goes on to say, occupational therapy, among other services, continues to meet the increased demand. Talking about sensory processing and how it seems that children are not developing their senses in the same way that, say, children 30 years ago were. Over the last 4 years, New York City public schools have seen a 30% increase in the number of children being referred to occupational therapy. Chicago public schools have seen a 20% increase in 3 years, and Los Angeles have seen their referrals jump to 30% in 5 years. So this is crazy. Like, you never hear of numbers like this. Like, even when people are talking about cancer or diabetes and how fast that those numbers are rising, they're talking 30, 40, 50 years that, numbers are changing. This is, 3 years, 5 years that we're seeing 20 and 30% increases. That's just incredible how things are changing so fast within a generation. Like, you could have a 30% difference within one family. Children are often 2-3 years apart. This is how fast this thing is changing and how fast we need to be on top of it and paying attention. So I wanted to share that with you, get it out there. Definitely giving this book so far 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. Go read it, and If you want to hear more about my opinions about nature therapy, I have a webinar that is out there. I made it with the help of Tanya Clark Marinelli. It's on YouTube. You can watch it absolutely free. I will put the link for that down below, so make sure you go and watch that as well. It has a lot of some of the really cool information in it as well, and how I helped myself using nature and nature therapy. So you'll get a bit of my story, and you'll get some of the nature deficit disorder in there as well. So read the book, read Last Child in the Woods by Richard Louv, and watch my webinar on nature deficit disorder, and you'll be pretty much caught up to speed. So I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.